How you doing, everybody? It's Wednesday the 13th January 2010, and later on it's about 9:30 in the evening, and I just wanted to deal with three little postings that I'm going to put up, and they're articles in newspapers. They refer to articles in newspapers, and what do I say about them except they're just about the situation that we're in. The first one's from the Independent, and it's called "How Anglo Bankrolled High Flyers in New York." And interesting little article. Have a look at it. Just tells you Anglo-Irish Bank loaned hundreds of millions of dollars to some of Ireland's wealthiest people to buy luxury apartments in New York as the global financial crisis began. This is in 2007, 2008. This money was all going out to these people. And it's the usual story. It's the same old names. You'll recognise all the names. You know what I mean? Unbelievable stuff. I think it's fascinating stuff. Just really fascinating stuff. Gives you another insight into what was going on in that Anglo-Irish Bank. And it's the old story. It's extraordinary stuff. Like, you know, I have to laugh. They keep showing you your man walking around Dublin. I'm not in Dublin. I used to be in Dublin all the time. But people mustn't say anything. This guy's walking around, this fella Sean Fitzpatrick, and like, he's a well-known face and a well-known figure. He seems to walk around Dublin. Nobody seems to say anything to him. I find it all extraordinary. But then you have this Bono arsehole, and he's the same at U2, moron. The fella wears the dark glasses all the time in the dead of winter. Crazy lunatic. You have tax exile living in this country, doesn't pay a penny tax. Him and them other muppets that he runs around with, and that fella McGuinness, all the same. Unbelievable people. And he's moralising about his best friend George Bush, and moralising about the world and about the poverty that's in the world and all that. What about his personal morals? What about his personal ethics? And the media is full of brown nosers and full of gravellers who support him, and you can't say a word about him. I believe he went to Leopardstown over Christmas. He believed one of the race meetings over Christmas. I was reading about it in the newspaper. Nobody said a word to him. These people are unbelievable. Their arrogance is unbelievable, and Ireland's full of them. Ireland, to just walk around Ireland, nobody says anything to them. Imagine that happening somewhere like up in Iceland or something. Get their lights knocked out. The people have been top of them in 2 seconds. Anyway, the next thing is the unions. An article in the Irish Times, and the unions have little to talk about, but it's headed up. What does it say? It says unions warn of extensive strikes, and I believe it when I see it, you know, because I think the unions have served their members very, very badly over this whole debacle. Really badly. But you must remember, where they're all singing off them top lads in them unions, they're all singing off a 2,000 to 3,000 euro a week hymn sheet. That's what they earn. Some of them earn 150,000 euros a year. Like, so you know what I mean? That's what they're singing off. Like, you have to put all this into perspective. But anyway, have a wee look at the article if you want to have a look at it. It's just, as I say, I'll believe it when I see it. And anyway, but the final thing I want to talk about is an article by, which I think is a much more important thing, by David McWilliams. And I don't know what to say about him. He writes a very powerful article. This is a powerful article in the Independent, and it's called David McWilliams, "We're been robbed by our supposed protectors." And just basically says the Irish politicians are putting bondholders, international bondholders, before the Irish people that they are meant to represent. It's the usual story, you know. But he elaborates about it, and it's basically about youth unemployment in Ireland and what's going to happen to the youth here. And it makes for very interesting reading. But really, at the end of the day, you see, all these guys are the same. They don't really make the serious demands are, we got to get rid of this crowd. We have to get rid of this Fianna Fáil crowd, one way or the other. We have to get rid of these people. We've given these people sovereignty to rule us. and they've basically raped us. That's what they've done. They've done a Catholic Church job. That's what they've done. And he basically says that in the article, but he doesn't say it. It's all couched in sort of woolly terms, and you know what I mean. Like, there's nitty gritty stuff here. There's people that can't. There's people in the next few years are seriously in difficulties. They're going to have to leave this country. We're back to the 80s here with a vengeance, with a serious vengeance. And nobody seems to be speaking for these people. The mass of the populace seems to have been bought off, and they seem to have they just seem to be switched off and asleep. But they're going to get wakened up. I can assure you they're going to get wakened up very, very quickly. Because Ireland in particular, our little country in particular, of all the EC countries, it's one of the smallest, and it's the most fragile. And I'm telling you, we are heading in a major direction, and it's not too far in the coming. I can see it clearly on the horizon. In about a year, 18 months down the line, we are going to be in serious doo-doo. And that's all. But have a read of his article. It just tells you the type of thing, you know, that the young people, the vast majority of them didn't borrow money or get into this property speculation, and didn't do any of that. But they're going to pay for it, and their children are going to pay for it. So anyway, have a look at the article. It makes for interesting reading.